Hello Internet and welcome to yet another video. My name is Amir. Thank you so much for joining me. It has been a long time. My apologies in taking so long to release content to you. I've been wanting to make this video for a while because I'm late. I'm late to the party, but last month in May, it was the 10-year anniversary of Diamond Eyes by the Deftones. And in my Deftones discography ranking, if you haven't seen it, I'll put the link in the description box below. But in my ranking of all the Deftones albums, Diamond Eyes is in my top 3. It's White Pony, Around the Fur, Diamond Eyes. I love this album to death. I love Diamond Eyes to death. And I didn't really go in depth as to why I like it so much on the ranking. So I wanted to take the time to, first off, celebrate the 10-year release, the 10-year anniversary of the release of Diamond Eyes, but also go into depth about what it was that really made me really happy when I heard this record for the first time. The album that came out before this was Saturday Night Wrist, right? And the album that came out before Saturday Night Wrist was the self-titled album. Those two albums, while I really enjoy those two albums, and I don't know why people crap on Saturday Night Wrist so much. I really actually do like that record a lot. But it signified a change in the Deftones sound and in the dynamic of the band that it didn't look good. It didn't look good that this band was going to continue or that they were going to be able to work with one another or that there was going to be some sort of breaking apart. You know, Chino was doing a lot of Team Sleep stuff. I know Stefan was working on another band that I can't remember the name of right now, but it was like a super group of sorts with like other people involved and stuff. It was like a more metal project. Kush, I think? I don't know. But it just didn't seem like the band was going to come back together and do anything, especially after the unfortunate accident of Chi Chang. He had not passed away at this point when Diamond Eyes came out, but he had his accident. And so this record was such a welcome surprise for me because, and I explained this in the ranking video, but when I heard Rocket Skates for the first time and I heard, dun 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 dun, I knew that they had come back to maybe prove people wrong, but to also maybe prove to themselves that they still have it, if that makes sense, right? And it's weird because they had recorded Eros with Terry Date, and that album to this day has not seen the light of day, although we have heard a song from there, right? Smile, but nothing else, right? And so we don't know what the status of that record is, if we're ever going to hear it, if it's going to be an EP, if it's going to be a full record, what have you, right? We've heard Smile and that's about it, which is beautiful, by the way. I love that damn song. So to hear this record, this collection of music that was brand new specifically for this record, there were no expectations. What were you going to expect? One of the core songwriters of the band was not writing music with the band. So what do you expect? And so Diamond Eyes, man, could not have come at a better time for this band. It could not have come at a better time to a fan of the band like myself. And so to hear Rocket Skates and to hear how badass it was and how visceral it was and how violent it was, and while it was repetitive, it was so catchy and so, infectious. The guns, razors, knives, fuck with me line is amazing. Like to this day, I love that line. And just the way that that works, that's the chorus. Guns, razors, knives, fuck with me is the chorus of that song, right? That makes no sense in any other context, but for that specific song, it works, and it works really, really well. The track listing for Diamond Eyes is beautiful. It's flawless. And I said this in my ranking video. I'm not the biggest fan of 976 Evil and This Place Is Death. I've since that ranking gone back and listened to this album again a number of times. I like 976 Evil. I don't love it. I still think it throws a wrench into the record, but I think it's a decent enough song. This Place Is Death is, as an album closer, they have much better album closers. Moana is much better. Riviera is much better. Pink Maggot is much better. MX is much better. So they've got their fair share of awesome album closers. This Place Is Death is not one of them. The 9 tracks before that. So Diamond Eyes, I love the different, not time signatures, but the different, it's different time signatures. Some measures have da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. So there's a measure of 6 and there's a measure of 5 and there's a measure of 6 and there's a measure of 5. It goes back and forth and it works beautifully. You don't really like notice it until you're like very much like trying to, you know, like examine the song, right? To like really like look at it by detail, right? Microscopically, if you will. But Diamond Eyes, I absolutely love that song. I love the chorus of it. I especially love the breakdown of it. Royal, I talked about this before, but I love the fast pace of Royal. I really love the chorus, going back to the soothing vocals with the more kind of distorted, violent vocals, and especially the scream that Chino does at the very end of that song, that he holds it forever. And I didn't mention this in the discography, the discography ranking, but I love what they do musically, specifically at that part. That da 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 that little change. I love stuff like that. I love stuff like that. And they do it all the time, which is why I'm such a big fan of the band. Command Control, again with the different odd times. And I said command just because I can. That stuff, straight out of your mind. It's just got such a groove to it, and I love those little punches, right? And especially the breakdown in the middle, and then it gets super just in your face. There's a 1, 2, 3 punch in this record that doesn't let up, even with You've Seen the Butcher. And that You've Seen the Butcher's got kind of like this. There's actually odd time signatures throughout this entire record. It really does not like, here's a song in 4/4 and we're going to stay in 4/4 the whole time. Here's a song in 6/8 we're going to stay in 6/8 the whole time. Here's a song and it doesn't do that. There's so many ebbs and flows in this record, and I think that's why I like this record so much, is because I'm invested as a listener, because it never lulls me to sleep. It never like makes me go, oh, okay, so this is what we're going to be doing for the next like 4.5 minutes. It's just every single song has such a unique identity. You've Seen the Butcher, right? So they made a video for You've Seen the Butcher, and I love the swing heaviness to it. And I can't really think of another Deftones song that has that rhythm to it. I also love, and there's odd time signature, there's an odd break, there's an odd measure in that part too. So, and even in the breakdown, when Steph is playing, it's only one measure. It's only one measure that throws it all off. But it's, again, it's like one of those things, like when I heard it for the first time and I heard this record for the first time, I'm like grooving to it. I'm like, oh, that's unique. They did something different there. That stuff puts a smile on my face. Beauty School is absolutely beautiful. I love the drum beat of that song. Absolutely stunning. Little Digital Bath-ish, right? Not necessarily not as iconic as Digital Bath, but the drum beat is in that same vein. I love the clean guitar. I love all that stuff. I love the breakdown again. Every time you drive me wild, it's a beautiful life. I love all of that stuff, man. It's so, the harmonies and the dynamics and the layering with Chino's vocals and the stuff that Frank is doing in the background, and all of that stuff, it comes really well together in Beauty School. Prince to me is a sequel to RX Queen or Prescription Queen. Legitimately, I think if you put those two songs on top of one another, they're the same song. And I don't mean that as a bad thing, but legitimately, I think you can sing Prince on top of RX Queen or RX Queen on top of Prince, and it'll work. It'll work just fine. Chord structure wise, timing wise, all that kind of stuff. I legitimately think they're the same. So, which is why I think that the band was aware they're the same, and hence the similar song titles. Rocket Skates, I've already talked about. Absolutely phenomenal song. I love the start of Sex Tape. I love the delay on the guitar. The sound of the waves collide. Man, dude, I don't know if it was, what had happened to Chi or the band needing a break from one another, but they came back like reinvigorated on this album, and I like Koi no Yokan a lot, but like Koi no Yokan kind of went like this for me in comparison to Diamond Eyes, because like in Diamond Eyes, they brought it, man. Like this is songwriting. This is Deftones songwriting at their best. They legitimately brought the heavy with Rocket Skates and Royal, and even Command and Control. They brought the harmonious, the beautiful, the melodic with Diamond Eyes and Sex Tape and Beauty School, and they brought like the sexiness, if you will, with like You've Seen the Butcher and Prince and stuff. Like they they brought everything to the table on this record and nailed it. I love the production on this record, by the way. Also, I think the production is fantastic. And finally, Risk. I didn't talk about Risk in the discography ranking, but I love Risk. Absolutely phenomenal songwriting, absolutely phenomenal everything. The arrangement is awesome. Dun, 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 dun. The "I will save your life" is an absolutely phenomenal line. And then the second time it sings it, "I will save." I love all of that stuff, man. Chino also was very, very varied. He was very, very varied. He was varied in his vocal range with this album. He kind of did a little bit of everything. He wasn't just singing. He wasn't like bringing anything, like he wasn't rehashing old tricks. He tried new stuff. This like little things like that just like, again, to the ear, to me as a fan and as a listener and as a musician, I go back and I'm like, oh, that's cool what he did there. Or that's cool what the band did as an arrangement there, because what he's doing vocally is complementing the music so well. 976 Evil, I like the slow paced song. Maybe if this 976 Evil was somewhere else in the track listing, like maybe between Prince and Rocket Skates, who knows? Maybe I'd appreciate it more. I think it's just the placement of it that throws me completely for a loop. I do like it though. You know, like the chorus of it is nice with Chino's vocals kind of being in that upper register. And then, when I wonder, will you take me in? Whatever, I don't know the words. But like that part is really cool. I like the chorus. Diamond Eyes as a whole, to me, is a fan-fucking-tastic album. So happy that this was something that brought the Deftones back to the level that I and many others feel they belong, which is the upper echelon of modern rock bands that are still kicking ass today. All right, and that is my full review, my 10-year anniversary celebration of Diamond Eyes. What do you think about this album? What are your favorite tracks on this album? Let me know in the comment section below. I will also be talking about the 20-year anniversary of White Pony. That is coming up very, very soon. We just passed that. And the fact that we have confirmation that there's a new Deftones album coming out, and the fact that there's a remix of White Pony called Black Stallion coming out. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Amir, and I'll see you next time.